October 20th was quite an eventful day for video games. Because we didn't just get one game with a Metascore higher than 90, we got two. Sony and Nintendo released two really big games on the same day, Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5 and Super Mario Bros. Wonder for the Switch. Because I love these franchises and because I'm a #gamer, I got both games and have played them extensively. Spider-Man 2 is a great follow-up to the prior Spider-Man games and continues the story while adding more gameplay elements on top, even though it has a couple of weird glitches here and there and they put the wrong flag into Miles's room. Whoopsie. It's still a very solid and fun game to play, just a common Insomniac W. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, on the other hand, is a game that's very different from the last 2D Mario game. You might be wondering, is it a glow up or a glow down?
Do you think this guy had a glow up or a glow down?
Fortunately, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that it's a glow up, and it's the most fun I've had playing a video game this year. I had never really been a big fan of 2D Mario games or 2D platformer games in general. Of course I have played 2D platformers before, but they weren't really my favorite genre, and I didn't actively seek out to play them, and it certainly didn't help how stale the new Super Mario Bros. Games had gotten. The first one that came out on the DS was really cool. Then they came out with another one of those, but on Wii with multiplayer. That was also cool. Then they released New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS, which is weird, because shouldn't it be then New Super Mario Bros. 3? Are we pretending that the Wii game doesn't exist all of a sudden? I played New Super Mario Bros. 2 on my 3DS a lot, and I liked the coin gimmick they had going on, but that didn't change the fact that this series was getting a little stale. Then they released the New Super Mario Bros. U on the Wii U. The only purpose it served was to be a launch game for the Wii U. Not much memorable came from that game. It's not that these games were bad, they did play like regular Mario games, but they kind of just lost their magic. It just wasn't anything special anymore. And it was obvious at that point that the Mario community was kind of fed up with the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and Nintendo either caught on to that or the developers got bored and they finally made a wholly new 2D Mario game with a revamped art style, completely new enemies, and brand new game mechanics that I didn't think I'd ever see in a 2D Mario game. It's safe to say that Nintendo nailed it, because Mario Wonder is my favorite 2D Mario game ever, and perhaps even my favorite 2D platformer in general. Like usual, this game isn't very heavy on the story. The TLDR is, we gotta defeat Bowser. However, this time, he isn't kidnapping Peach. Instead, he's stealing Wonder powers from the Flower Kingdom. That's right, we're not in the Mushroom Kingdom in this game. Instead, we're in the Flower Kingdom, a wholly new world we've never seen before. To save the Flower Kingdom, Mario and his friends have to stop Bowser, and coming along with him on the journey is Prince Florian. Again, Mario stories aren't incredibly deep, and neither should they be deep, but I do enjoy seeing a new world that's different from the Mushroom Kingdom, and their new residents. Playing Mario Wonder is really fun. It's an incredibly well-designed game that's really fun to play. That's especially true thanks to the Wonder Flowers. In order to progress in the game, you have to collect Wonder Seeds. You do this by finding the Wonder Flowers, which are scattered throughout all the levels in the game. When a Wonder Flower activates, the whole level shifts, and something strange happens. For example, pipes could start moving around like worms, piranha plants could start singing, or you take a quiz. There's a reason I'm not in school anymore. The Wonder Flowers really give the developers an excuse to do something wild and unexpected. It really helps to keep the gameplay fresh, and it has surprised me so many times, mostly because these gameplay segments are really cleverly designed. Entering a level is always really exciting because you think, I wonder what will happen when I activate the Wonder Flower. That's, ironically, Mario Wonder's biggest strength, the sense of wonder you get while playing it. There are also so many new enemy types that are all incredibly creative and make way for really cool gameplay opportunities. These popcorn guys, for example, they spawn as regular kernels, but when they walk on something hot, they turn into popcorn and hop around the level. Oh, and I can't forget about the power-ups. The elephant power-up is awesome. You can break blocks with it, collect water, and then spew it out. And then there's the drill power-up, which might be my favorite. It's not exactly the best power-up for defeating enemies, but it's so fun to drill into the floor or the ceiling to find secrets. Another fun thing you'll find in the levels of the game is the talking flower. In every single level, there are a bunch of these scattered around, which will comment on what's happening in the level, or on your gameplay. I thought at first that these guys would be annoying, but I actually found myself enjoying what they had to say most of the time. Speaking of things I found myself enjoying, badges! In the game, you can equip what's called a badge. You can equip one badge at a time, and they can offer up a new ability or perk for you to use. The first one you get in the game is really useful, the parachute cap. It lets you glide around using your hat as a parachute. You can change which badge you have equipped in the world menu or when you die in a level. This is something I thought we would never see in a Mario game, and I'm so happy to see that it's here, because this system is really cool, and adds a new level of depth to the gameplay. I'll be honest, I don't know much about level design or game design, but I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that this game is really fun to play. Every level has its own thing going on, or a unique gimmick, which is most of the time really fun. These levels aren't insanely hard or anything, but there are a couple of levels which do offer a bit of a challenge, and I found myself enjoying those as well. This game looks amazing. The levels look beautiful, especially the first one, and the new animations Mario and his friends have are adorable. The Goombas and other enemies look so lively now. I wouldn't add the music to my personal playlist or anything like that, but it's still some good Mario music that just makes you smile. I'm also a big fan of the UI, world menu, and the new sound effects. There are new sound effects for jumping, getting a power-up, going through pipes, and I honestly really like these new sound effects, although the jumping sound effect can get a little grating in local multiplayer. But overall, just playing this game and looking at it fills me with so much joy, it's hard to even describe. You can tell that a lot of love and passion went into the presentation of this game. I genuinely do think this is one of the best looking games on the Switch, and it helps that it runs very smoothly and barely has any performance hiccups. So far, I've had nothing bad to say about this game, and you're probably thinking, Cresty's probably going to say nothing bad about this game because he's a Nintendo shill. I am not a Nintendo shill, you pesky YouTube viewer. Want me to prove it? Okay, here's what you've all been waiting for. The Nitpicks. Mario Wonder has a lot of playable characters, those being Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, the Toads, 4 different colored Yoshis, and Nabbit. Having more playable characters is by all means good, but you see, the Yoshis and Nabbit are a little bit different, because if you play them, they won't take damage from enemies, but instead, they won't get power-ups. I mean, I don't really have anything against this, as players of low skill, or maybe kids, can get a better grasp on playing the game, and thus might even enjoy themselves more. However, why isn't this feature just toggled off and on? What if I want to play as Yoshi, but still want to be able to take damage? Why isn't this just a feature you toggle off and on, instead of this only being applied to these special characters? I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. This next nitpick is considering the boss battles in this game. I understand that this topic might be a little spoilery, so for those who don't want to hear anything about the boss fights of the game, you should skip to this timestamp. Okay? Okay. We really took these guys for granted, didn't we? I think the boss fights in this game are cool, and are definitely better than the new Super Mario Bros. Ones. But come on, Bowser Jr. every single time? How is this one of the most innovative Mario games of all time, yet we're stuck with Bowser Jr. for every boss fight? The boss fights aren't always the same, granted, but why are we just fighting Bowser Jr.? What if they made a completely new enemy for each boss fight? That would have been way cooler. Like I said, I still like the boss fights here, but I would have liked to see maybe the Koopalings or some other enemies. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is my favorite 2D Mario game. It's really fun, looks beautiful, and gave us Elephant Mario. And even though we couldn't get to see Elephant Yoshi, I think DeviantArt will handle that one just fine. If you have a Nintendo Switch, I really recommend picking this game up and trying it out. Mario Wonder gets a score of 9.5 out of 10 from me. And hey, if you like this video, well, why don't you subscribe, eh? Mamma mia, it's me, Cresty.